I'll tell you what I thought about this right now, and then I want to move on to the main part of the piece, which is that in one part of the film, there's this woman who wakes up after, it's like 2048. She's been asleep since the 1970s, and she's going to be made to choose a gender. She's a butch, and that she has to pick a side, girl in pink, boy in blue kind of thing. And this person says to her, well, what happened is back in 2008, the evangelicals took over the government. That one man, one woman thing, that's the only people who can get married. They started going after the butches, and they started going after the fairies. Everybody had to pick a side. The trannies went along with it. And so what the film does, in my opinion, is that it links trannies, that was the word she used, with reactionary, government takeovers. And that is the same bullshit that has been said about trans people for decades right now. It's like that we're reactionary. We're anti-feminist, we're anti-gay, we're anti-gender diversity, and it is just wrong. And so, I ran out of breath there, I got so angry. So it is, it's what has been said about us, and what we have to do is that when we say it's like, that is not true, don't say that about me, that is a stereotype, that is prejudicial, that is hateful. It's like, people aren't hearing us say that. They're just hearing us say, these trans people are shutting down discourse on things, trans people saying, you can't have a discussion about this. We're the only people who can talk about it. They see us as shutting down the dialogue, which is why I feel like it was so unfortunate that some other venue was not found to screen this film. The other thing that happens in the film, at the end, you see a couple of different futures that could possibly happen to this woman. One of them is that after she is taken by the gender cater, to be gender re-educated and given this choice, what are you going to be, a man or a woman? Pick one. That she says, I don't want to choose. And the gender cater, who is a female-bodied person who has been transitioned to male, the gender cater says, she's been gender-educated, transition her. And so this idea that trans people are responsible for non-consensual things happening to women's bodies, that trans people are the rapists, that trans people are the violators. That is exactly what has been said about trans people for going on 40 years now. That it's an idea that starts in the 1970s. You first start hearing it around 1973. Janice Raymond wrote about it in her book, The Transsexual Empire, calling transsexuals rapists. In the 70s and 80s and into the 90s, this is something that was directed against male to female people. Now it's being directed against FTM people. It's like we're all transgender queer people to the people who hate us. We really have to make common cause together in an MTF, FTM, gender queer, gender variant community. All right, that's all that I want to say about that. I want to get back to the being angry part.